From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, November 3rd. A beautiful, above average, and bright fall day is what we can expect for our Thursday. Not much to worry about. Had some morning fog in a few areas this morning, and maybe some lingering cloud cover, but it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Highs in the low 70s for most of the state. In Fort Wayne, there was a shooting by police. It left one person with life-threatening injuries. It happened yesterday afternoon on Poplar Street, just south of downtown. The Fort Wayne Police Department says it started when officers went out to a call about a disturbance and a person who might be armed. So far, the department is only commenting through a news release saying that at some point, police fired shots. No word yet whether the person was armed or threatened officers, how many officers fired, or the name or age of the person wounded. It only describes him as a male. Police say that they are talking with several witnesses. In Wayne County, a judge has approved a gag order in the case of Philip Lee. He's the man charged with killing Richmond police officer Sierra Burton. The order prevents any party from discussing the case publicly. As we've reported, the county prosecutor is requesting the death penalty for Lee. Investigators have now ruled a deadly home explosion in Evansville an accident. The August blast and fire that followed killed 3 people and damaged dozens of homes. The state fire marshal says it started with a leaking gas line in the basement from a valve that was open for some reason. Investigators say meter readings show a sharp increase in gas usage in the house started 2 days before the explosion. The report doesn't reach a conclusion about how or why the valve was opened. Investigators say an appliance in the home likely ignited the built-up gas. A judge will decide if a probable cause affidavit for the arrest of Richard Allen will be made public later this month. A hearing is set for November 22nd. The date was released just hours after News 8 requested the information. Officials announced 2 murder charges against Allen on Monday for the 2017 killings of Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi. Officials say Allen was arrested last Friday, but it's not clear how investigators linked him to the murders. People in a Crawfordsville neighborhood say that they've worried about the road where a child was hit Halloween night. Police now say the 7-year-old boy has died from his injuries. The crash happened when police say an SUV stopped on Traction Road to let out trick-or-treaters, and a passing minivan hit the door of the SUV, fatally injuring the boy. Police haven't said if the minivan was speeding. They do say the driver is cooperating with the investigation. A national conservative group is getting involved in the Marion County prosecutor's race. It's called the Protecting Americans Action Fund. It bought $350,000 worth of airtime for an ad in support of Republican candidate Cindy Carrasco. The ad targets Democratic incumbent Ryan Mears over his decision to not enforce the state's red flag law against the FedEx shooter. It's one of at least 7 prosecutors' races nationwide that the group has targeted so far. Mears' campaign responded to the ad saying, unfortunately, this sort of divisive behavior has become the norm in national politics. It is disheartening to see out-of-state or national dark money tactics being used to influence a down-ballot county-wide race. Carrasco's campaign says it didn't know about the ad buy until it aired. A spokesperson says, over the past 3 years, Ryan Mears has had an opportunity and an obligation to keep our community safe, and he has failed. And while his efforts are being funded by criminal defense attorneys, our campaign is being funded by everyday people who are concerned with the violence and don't want Indianapolis to become another San Francisco or Chicago. News 8 did contact the Protecting Americans Action Fund, but the group did not comment. President Biden is warning democracy is on the line in the upcoming midterm election. He made the comments during a political event for the Democratic National Committee. Biden singled out former President Trump and other so-called ultra-MAGA Republicans, saying their election-denying lies inspire violence. He called the Republican claims the path to chaos in America. Biden also pointed to the attack on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband last week, as well as the attack on the Capitol last January. The White House says Biden's top advisors are making plans for a 2024 campaign, even though he's not made an official decision to run again. According to a senior advisor, Biden will be making the decision in close consultation with his family, as he has in the past. Biden is the oldest president in American history at 79 years old. One of the most controversial owners in sports may be willing to sell his team. Dan Snyder has released a statement indicating he's hired a bank to look into possible deals for the Washington Commanders. Snyder and his team are currently the focus of investigations from the league and a congressional committee looking into claims of financial misconduct, sexual assault, and more. Last month, Colts owner Jim Irsay became the first fellow team member to publicly call for Snyder's removal. The Houston Astros are the first team ever to throw a combined no-hitter in postseason history. Houston's 5-0 Game 4 victory last night now ties the World Series at 2 games apiece. Astros pitcher Christian Javier threw 6 scoreless innings in the win. He joins Yankees pitcher Don Larson as the only pitchers in World Series history to throw 6 no-hit innings in a start. The teams will meet one last time in Philly tonight for Game 5, first pitch, 8:03. The Powerball jackpot now stands at $1.5 billion. No tickets match the numbers in last night's drawing. The next drawing is Saturday night. If you win and choose the cash option, you'll get nearly $756 million. If enough people buy tickets before Saturday's drawing, it could become the all-time largest jackpot, beating a $1.58 billion Powerball prize in 2016. And, of course, the countdown to Thanksgiving is on. Wish TV is once again teaming up with the Moselle Sanders Foundation to feed 15,000 families. This is the 51st year for the Thanksgiving Day dinners. You can help by texting Moselle to 313131 to donate. Every $20 will feed a family of 4. You can also find out more information by going to wishtv.com. We have a donation page there, and you can also find out how to volunteer. The American dream in the business headlines is more than just financial resources, which is why a new index seeks to quantify prosperity using 230 different data measures to assess well-being in states across the United States. Indiana ranked 33rd, losing some points for a category called Empowered People. The results, Massachusetts came out on top, with Mississippi bringing up the rear. The Milken Institute looked at things like health, education, natural environment, business environment, personal freedom, and safety and security. Elon Musk aims to start charging for Twitter verification next week. Existing verified users will get months before paying. Bloomberg also reports Twitter plans to expand the edit button feature to all users. Dollar General has been sued by Ohio's Attorney General after multiple pricing complaints. Dave Yost accused Dollar General of deceptively pricing items and bait advertising. Dollar General has not yet commented. American Airlines Pilots Union rejected a labor deal. The rejection comes a day after United Pilots turned down a proposed agreement. Delta is also threatening to strike. Unions are negotiating with airlines throughout the industry and want a bigger piece of the pie as people are flying again. And the world's largest coffee chain is launching its iconic holiday cups, treats, and beverages today. On the Starbucks menu will be peppermint mocha, caramel brulee latte, chestnut praline latte, and toasted white chocolate mocha drinks. And finally today, a competition featuring the top swimmers in the world arrives in Indianapolis. The natatorium will host the first FINA World Cup Series event in the United States since 2006. Indy is the final stop for the series, and with it comes 4-time Olympic gold medalist Ryan Murphy. Indianapolis will host the U.S. Olympic team trials for swimming in June of 2024, and for the first time ever, the event will be staged on a football field at Lucas Oil Stadium. While Murphy says he's excited to compete in the trials, right now he says he's focused on the World Cup, which will set the tone for the year. The World Cup starts today and ends Saturday. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.